All right. Hello, chat. How's it going? Hopefully well. I swear I'm not late. I planned to be 2 minutes later than usual. Definitely. It was all according to plan. It's perfectly on time. You just didn't know that I was planning to be intentionally behind schedule. That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. Anyway, we're playing Ace Combat X. We're flying planes. Getting all the S ranks, getting all the... You know, what's it? The skins, the parts, everything. We're doing all of it. I'm opening the game. Hold on. I am a tiny bit behind purely because... Well, A, because I planned on it, of course. But B, Oh. What is with that? Why ACX every time? Why does it, like, insta-crash? You guys probably didn't even see it at all. Whenever I flip from the starting soon screen to the actual playing the game screen, this game crashes on me every time. I don't know why. But hello, Dream Master. Hello, Bob, Metalhead, Mickle, Mirai, John Fuzz. Hello. So sorry. Just committed a war crime against the Geneva Convention. He timed out a civilian. Are mods considered civilians now? Is that how that works? I don't know if that's exactly how that works. Oh, that's right. So we did get the hard mode S ranks. Did I start on Ace at all? Doesn't really look like I did. This looks like what I had already. Must have just been one of those, like, perfectly timed moments. Alright, hold on. I need the mission list pulled up. God knows, because at some point, I'm going to have a question about the mission I'm on in regards to, like, the ranking criteria or whatever.
Our scattered forces have come together for this battle. They're few in number, but we've managed to assemble a small ground force. However, the LASAF fleet continues to gather in Port
The Geneva does not exist in Strange Real. That's true.
Has also been confirmed.
That's true. He timed me out. I don't know what you're talking about.
Now intends to shuttle in troops and supplies overseas.
There is a mode above hard. It's Ace, and that's what we're doing today. Shouldn't be too bad. Because now, like, we have all the good planes and stuff now. So it should be fine. Famous last words.
Supply vessels, landing ships, and freighters. In particular, try to keep as many enemy landing ships from entering the port as possible.
It should be fine, though, I think.
Supplies must not reach the enemy. The number of
How cruel. Do you believe him, False? Come on. Come on. You know, I would never, ever time out Mickle. I would never bonk Mickle, ever. I wouldn't do it.
This time, a substantial counterattack is to be expected.
I wonder if we'll be able to, or if we'll have the chance to play that mission today. I have proof? No proof. Must be photoshopped, I think. Because it would never happen. Everyone knows that it would never happen. No one will believe you. It's clearly photoshopped. Everyone knows it. Everyone's been talking about it. Welcome back to the Ace Combat streams, where we fly planes and practice our professional level gaslighting. I mean, what? What's gaslighting? Never heard of it. I also, I guess, finished up the F-15S at the very end of last stream, so we're on to the 37. Oh, we gotta save that. Fly the basic colors at least a little bit. With qualms. It's gotta be with qualms. Keeps your home warm? Oh, does it?
You are clear to
I wouldn't
take
know.
off.
Any SU-37 fans in chat? Any flanker fans, perhaps?
Griffith 1, altitude restrictions canceled. Return to your mission. Good luck.
Feels like I'm farther along than expected, at least in the single player department. I thought that ACX would be a little longer, but I think the multiplayer is gonna pad this one out for sure.
Check your MPG on the right side of the HUD. The MPG will display the number of landing ships from the port. Pay careful attention to the MPG during this mission.
I love flankers. Me too.
Oh, you're Griffith 1, huh? I'm Major Bergman, Ground Force Commander. There are landing ships within the enemy fleet. We'll lose the battle if a battalion is allowed to make it ashore. Do not allow more than 3 landing.
God, I'm already doing plane sounds. It's gonna be a long day.
Back for Patterson. Huh? Wait, I've got something on radar. The city on high alert. I don't want to see so much of that kitten out on those streets. Just make sure that bridge is raised. Enemy ship destroyed.
Aircraft damaged? When did I get shot? The fuck? It's a qualm, so maybe. No. Hit the water. Oh, missile tracking in this game is something. This is actually a good machine gun opportunity. Hold on. Sweet. Is everything else?
AA guns destroyed.
I want to be focused in on this. Not the plane sounds. It's already starting. It's too soon for plane sounds. It's gonna be a long ass stream of me making plane sounds. The plane sounds get the ladies excited. That's true. Everyone knows it. Everyone's been talking about it. It's all about plane sounds now. It's half the fun. It's true.
Enemy freighter destroyed. You'll be able to acquire supplies after entering the port. Just head for the bridge. Bridge control on the base command. Commence raising of the bridge.
Hold on now. I also, speaking of 100%ing the single player here, I legitimately believe that we are not going to get all of the parts and skins and everything before we get all the S ranks. I don't think that that's going to happen. I feel like we're gonna get all the S ranks first, which is crazy, right? Just let it sink in that S ranking every level in the game across 3 difficulties is going to take less time than collecting like all of the skins and planes and parts and stuff like that for ACX. Hungry for the opportunity to make plane sounds. Project Wingman is available for review. Not yet. There will be a day, there will be a time where we review and stream Project Wingman. It's not time yet. The time has to be right.
Damn it, our whole fleet's sinking.
How much health does a supply ship have? Not a whole lot.
All guns fire artillery barrage. Don't let the enemy get close.
Alright, I've got to go get this one last ground target, whatever it is. Near viewer base? I don't know. Because it's been a long time since like the Ace Combat 7 video, for example. Because AC7 was... I did AC7, I want to say... right before I did... MGS Portable Ops, I think. So I want to say we did AC7 like last year in March or April, maybe. God, it's been a long time since then. It's even already been a long time since like the MGS5 video and stuff. I was thinking about that a bit ago. Because I realized, I was like, man, I started the Resident Evil series in August. Like late August, but August. And that sinking in, I was like, Jesus. I've already been doing Resi for a long time. Because I realized, because I was looking through my YouTube stuff, and the Resident Evil playlist already has 11 videos in it, which is already like approaching being as long as the Armored Core, Ace Combat, or Metal Gear series were. Because what were they? Armored Core was 16 videos. Ace Combat was 13. Metal Gear, I think, was 18. Resi's already at 11. And we haven't even done like RE4 yet. RE4 turned 20 today. I saw people on Twitter were talking about it. Well, people on my Twitter, of course, because I have like the ROE guys and everything like that, right? Jared. So yeah, people on my side of Twitter were talking about it this morning. Oh, come on. What the fuck is an AOA limiter? Suck it? Suck, huh?
We've succeeded in destroying the
I could almost legally purchase and play it.
Our ground troops
Well,
scored a major
I feel like they
victory
used to,
by using
I
chaos
remember,
by
hold
our
on,
attack
random
to
tangent
storm in
off
and
of that.
secure the port.
Does anyone else remember
We
being a
freed Fort
kid?
Patterson from the
I say
hands of the
kid.
enemy.
Being like, I don't know,
Kind of hard to believe.
13-ish, and like going into the GameStop, the Target, Walmart, whatever, and like they wouldn't let you buy like an M-rated game on your own. But I feel like by the time that I was like 15, they just kind of gave up on it. And they were like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. Oh, maybe that's just because I looked older though. Okay, wait, maybe. I'm having a moment of realization as I'm saying it. I'm like, oh wait. I kind of looked like an adult when I was like 15, to be fair.
Meeting up at Kings Hill. Based on the sheer strength of
I never had that issue. That wouldn't shock me.
Appears imminent.
I was never stopped from buying anything, really. I remember, I remember buying Dead Rising 3. God, this was in 2013. Dead Rising 3 when it came out in Target. And my mom was there, and I remember the guy at like the tech section of the Target being like, he looked at the back of the case and he was like, just so you know that this is what he's buying. It has like blah, 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 blah. Like he reads off all the reasons that it's M-rated.
It will be beyond the reach of
and Dead Rising 3 is, it has a very long list. And she was just like,
please make sure this doesn't
okay. I remember her having that air of like disappointment that was what I wanted to play, but she was just like, sure, okay, fine. Because she wasn't buying it, I was paying for it, so she was just like, yeah, whatever. Mortal Kombat, Metal Gear Solid, RE, classic God of War games were my first M-rated games. Now that you say it, classic RE was my first video game ever I started on M-rated. Like as a wee lad. As a very small boy. Really good. No, False recently told me this story. I was laughing my ass off. Actually, I should go for a machine gun kill here. I was just gonna clip him as I went by with a quam, but hold on. I do need some machine gun kills still. I need to like focus on them. When I've got an easier moment to go ahead and get them. I think Reach was M-rated. I want to say it was. What Halo game? Oh, it's Halo 5 is the one that's not M-rated. Never mind. I think Halo 5 is the only one that's not M-rated, as far as I know. Is Infinite? By the time that Infinite was coming out, I was fully on PC, so like I don't see the rating on the case or whatever anymore. And like Steam doesn't like put the game rating up on the front of the page or anything. I'm sure they do if you look for it, but it's not like up front and center. So I feel like I never see game ratings nowadays. Is Infinite M-rated or is it not? I wouldn't be surprised if it's teen. But to be honest, I don't think most of the Halo games ever needed to be M-rated. I feel like they all could have been teen. But I think that we just rate things a little more leniently now compared to way back as well. Because like legitimately, I think of like Halo 3. Halo 3 easily could have been rated T for teen. Like if it came out today, I bet it would be. I think they're all PEGI 16. No, all the older games are definitely M-rated. Like, at least the original trilogy, at bare minimum, are M-rated. But maybe over in Europe, they only ever got PEGI 16. That would be interesting. But over here, they're definitely M. Like, for sure. I have... Are my Halo game cases, like, in my closet right now? Oh, PEGI 16 is M-rated. I thought you had PEGI 18. Don't you have PEGI 18? Isn't that M-rated? Oh, 18 is like porn and shit. Oh, okay. Never mind then. Infinite is 16 plus, so that's your like M-rated equivalent. Is 16 not? I would have thought 16 was like teen, but I guess like teen for us is like 13 and up, not 16. So. That would kind of make sense, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. Would be closer to M than teen. Oh my god, I'm on Ace. Hold on. I might have my Halo discs, like, right here. Hold on. Why? Unfortunate news. Very unfortunate news. I do not have them right here. I thought they were in my room. They are not. I unfortunately have to report. I was about to show off a bit. I was like, oh, hold on. Because to be honest, I think like out of all of my physical games, okay, no, that's not true. Well, actually, yeah, I do. I think out of all of my like physical collection from when I was younger, because I don't buy physical anymore, I stopped around like 2017, I want to say, was when no, yeah, 2017. I bought a couple physicals in 2017, but that was like the last of it. But from when I was younger, like out of all the physical copies of stuff that I own, I feel like my Halo cases are like my favorites. Like all the classic Halo games, they have such good like cover art. And especially the Halo CE manual is amazing. The game manual for Halo CE is genuinely one of the best I have. teen in the US also means 16 plus? Wait, what? Is that right? I thought it meant 13 for us. And then I thought M rated was 17 plus. All right, I think M is like officially 17 and up for us. I want to say. I don't think it's 16 plus for us. Because I'm pretty sure M is 17 plus. T has 13 plus under the T. Okay, I'm not crazy. I was like, tell me I'm not crazy right now. My Halo games might be in the storage room. If not, they're in my storage unit, which... M is 17. Sweet. See? I vaguely remember back in my day, we had game cases. I say as I'm sitting next to, like, my Ace Combat physical copies for this shit. Specifically my Ace Combat 6 copy that's sitting directly next to me and has been for like a year straight. Because my dumbass, after recording the whole thing off of the Xbox, was like, I'm just gonna leave the Xbox like as part of my setup so that when we get to Ace Combat 6, it's just, I don't have to set it up again. So I've just had Ace Combat 6 sat in this Xbox, and this Xbox hooked up right under my desk for like a fucking year. Not using it. Ace Combat 6 right here on the desk next to me, not using it. Because like a year ago, I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be doing that soon, and I don't want to have to like set up the Xbox again when I finally get back to it, so I'll just like leave it all set up. Here we are, still doing ACX. Still buy music CDs. I was never into CDs. I was big into like my game collection, but never CDs. Shit. I did just recently though. I got my dad on like vinyl. I got him a vinyl player and a few to start. Ooh. Trying to get some machine gun kills in here for that medal. I don't know why the third machine gun medal in this game is such a big jump. Like, for the amount of machine gun kills for the 3 of them, it's like, oh yeah, the bronze machine gun medal, just get 5 machine gun only aircraft kills. And it's like, oh, okay, 5, easy clap. And then it's like, okay, for silver, get 15. And you're like, bit of a random jump, but okay. And then it's like, for gold, do 50. 5, 15, 50. Just really weird, like, multiples on it. But it's whatever. Machine gun kills aren't, like, bad. You just have to, at least if you play like me, you have to, like, go out of your way to actually do them. I get so in the rhythm of just, like, whipping out the qualms and clipping planes as I go by. Were CDs even your time? I think that's kind of the thing, is that CDs were pretty much already gone by the time I got, like, really into music. Oh, I got a comment notification on my phone that I started reading. I need to turn my comment, like, push notifications off. They're, like, they're really not that unhealthy for me. You'd think they would be more unhealthy for me than they are, like, mentally, but they're not. But they're distracting. Like, right here, I'm streaming, and between flying and reading chat and everything, I get, like, a comment on a video from a year ago, and I'm like, ooh, let me read. But it was a guy commenting on my AC6, or sorry, Armored Core 6 video. Talking about how he just played the co-op mod with friends and saying, like, if you still play it, to me, he was like, dude, I don't know if you still play Armored Core 6, but if you do, and you have a friend that does, you gotta do this. I've heard that co-op mod for Armored Core 6 is so fun. But I genuinely don't have a single friend that plays Armored Core. It's okay, chat. I just need time. I'll convert them slowly. I've been planting the seeds for like a year now. We're taking the slow and steady approach. Uh-oh. Am I cooked? Okay, we're fine. False, you'd love Armored Core 6. False would love Armored Core 6. She doesn't think she would, but she would. She'd love Rusty. That's the thing that I can never get over. She doesn't think she would love Rusty, but she would. She would. Is there a BT mod? No, but you could try to make BT. She probably would love it because of Rusty alone. Rusty is genuinely, like, how do you make a character that likable in such a small amount of time, right? Like, with so little screen time, how do you manage to make a character that likable? I still can't shake it. Just the fact that it's insane how much you, like, fall for Rusty in a very straight way, for someone like me, of course, in such a short time span of, like, him actually being on screen and stuff. It's wild. Yeah, we're doing Joint Assault. Yeah, Pixie's the same thing, for sure. Pixie is like the saving grace of Ace Combat Zero. If Pixie wasn't in that game, people would not like it as much. Which might sound ridiculous, but, like, think about it. Think about how much of AC Zero's love comes from Pixie. Without Pixie, AC Zero's narrative is, like, nothing. Like, he is AC Zero's narrative entirely, and people mostly love that game for the narrative. Oh my god. I'm trying to, like, really get a lot of machine gun kills. I feel like I shouldn't. I feel like I should just stop, because I'm gonna get shot down. Can't dismiss the flamenco music. No. Like, the music's still great. The missions are still pretty good. Like, all that other stuff would still be there. But, like, AC Zero, I genuinely don't think it would be held in such high regard if Pixie wasn't in the game. I think that people would recognize, like, the shit that really is awesome about it, but it wouldn't be the same, right? Going for the machine gun kill medal. Yeah, I'm realizing that I'm, like, slacking on it a lot. I think I got like 5 or so just in this one mission, but now I should probably stop and not get myself shot down and lose all that progress. Even like 4 or 5 in one mission is great. What is this way over here? Because I've clearly got time. I don't know if this car is the last target. I feel like it can't be. I feel like I have, like, no fucking points. This can't be the last target. It's gonna spawn another wave afterwards, right? Pixie's like the liquid snake of this game. You know, you're kind of right. I've never really thought about that before, but imagine, like, Metal Gear Solid 1 without Liquid. I think it would still be held in very high regard, but just imagine how different that game would feel without Liquid Snake. Like, you'd still have Ocelot and, like, Otacon. Like, you'd have a bunch of other lovable characters still. But it wouldn't be the same without Liquid in it. Wouldn't even be close. Don't want to get yourself shot down. Yeah, now that we're on Ace, I need to remember that no matter how well I'm doing, it takes one missile to wipe all my progress on a mission. That's it. Especially on ACX. Ace mode demands perfection. Actually, I would say kind of only on ACX does Ace mode actually demand perfection. I tend to forget that PJ existed in Zero, so yeah. That's the thing, like, other characters are in Ace Combat Zero, but then it's characters like PJ who are literally just there for the sake of, like, filling the gap that is left by Pixie leaving in the middle of the story. That's the only reason PJ exists. Is just so that you can still have a wingman after after Pixie dips. Is there an Ace mode on 7? Yes. Man, I guess you just get, like, no points on this mission. Like, there's just nothing to build score off of.
We've succeeded in preventing the Miller unit from invading.
That's an S rank. I felt like I had no points, so I tried to go as long as I could there.
They've learned their lesson and think twice before trying to.
But I guess that's all I needed.
Again.
Sorry, I see Mikkel posting his clearly photoshopped and fake evidence in the Discord server. Has to be fake. I mean, look at it. Clearly it can't be real. All right, 4B now.
Intelligence reports that Laseth forces are airlifting munitions from Port Patterson to Santa Elva. We think the munitions are for the airborne fortress Gleipnir.
8,000 points.
At this moment,
clearly it's AI generated. Oh my god, I need to start doing that more. I need to keep that meme going.
The mission will be considered a failure if even one
PJ was innocent.
Escapes
PJ deserved better. They should have never written him into that story. He could have lived. They just left him out. I could have not had a wingman. And PJ could have survived. Could have lived a good life. But no, they just had to cram him in there. They thought I would be inconsolable without a wingman. Oh my god, is it actually? It's F-22 time? Not quite yet. I still have to get the rest of the kill rate for the flanker, but then it's F-22 time already. There's still so many planes to go. What do you mean it's F-22 time? Okay. Okay. Okay, sure. And then super planes. Wow. Yeah, we're really like... I would say that we're officially in endgame planes. For sure. Raptor maxing is possible in a foreseeable moment. It is. We're so close to raptor maxing. That's such an awful term. I love it. The XO2? Which one is the XO2? That's the Wyvern, right? I don't think we've done the Wyvern. Oh, well, it's unlocked in there. I just haven't bought it. 144 was a disaster in real life. It sucked. Hey, but in Ace Combat, that's an endgame plane right there. Ace Combat doesn't play by boring real life rules. Chat. The bracket. Is it just too late? Do I even do it now? Is it too late to start the bracket voting for the day? We're near the end of the Ace Combat bracket. So do I just skip a day since I fucking forgot until like 45 minutes into stream? To preserve the integrity of the bracket? Do it? By do it, you mean just put it up anyway? It's the final round of the losers bracket today. Okay, chat? Are you sure you want me to just say fuck it and do it anyway? It's the final round. Yes? Alright. I don't want to hear anything about the compromised integrity of the Ace Combat bracket. Fuck it, we're doing it live. Alright. For the final round of the losers bracket, Ace Combat 0 versus Ace Combat 5. Go. The winner faces the winner of the main bracket, Ace Combat 7. I can't believe I forgot the bracket until this far in. To be fair, I'm only doing brackets for like 2 of the 100% series right now, because the Armored Core one finished a while ago. And I haven't covered enough of the RE or Yakuza games to start those yet. Because the thing for me with them is obviously not everyone is going to have played every single game in these franchises. So at the very least, if I can, like, wait until I've covered a majority of the games in the series so that there's, like, content on the channel where you can at least go and, like, see what the game is, what it's like and everything, it's better than just voting blindly, at least. It's not great, it's not perfect, but it's better. So I have an RE and a Yakuza bracket made, but I'm holding off for now until I've covered more of the games. Dead Aim is number 1. Since 5, as amazing as it is, does drag. 5 is a little on the long side. Although, I feel like 5 is only like a little on the long side on subsequent playthroughs, on replays. Because honestly, when I played it for the review, I did not feel like it dragged that much. Like, I didn't find myself going, man, this game is too long. I noticed that it was longer than Ace Combat tends to be. But that's just because Ace Combat games tend to be short. Like, I would say the average Ace Combat playthrough, like a first playthrough on any of these games, is probably like 5 to 7 hours long a piece. How long is 5? Is it like 8 hours, 9 hours on a first playthrough, something like that? I would say 8 hours probably. Hell, some of the Ace Combat games are really short. Looking at you, Ace Combat 2. Some are very short. Although I love Ace Combat 2 being so short. That game is literally like 3 hours long front to back. Can I recommend old RPG games? Like what kind of RPGs are we looking for? Do you want like... Tell me what RPGs you like that you're looking for something similar. Or also, if you're interested in diving in for ARPGs, the original Diablo is still to this day like surprisingly captivating. I didn't play the original Diablo until like 3 years ago, and I fucking loved it. But I also love retro games, so probably depends on your tolerance for retro games, but I loved it. Which one was the la 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 la? That's 5. Like Morrowind or something similar. Man, like Morrowind, but older than Morrowind? I cannot in good faith recommend either Daggerfall or Arena, to be honest with you. Some people will tell you they're amazing, but I feel like they're only amazing after you spend like 20-ish hours bashing your head against the wall and just learning how the fuck to even operate those games. Trying to think here. Wow. Qualms for the win. Maybe Ultima Underworld might be a good way to go. It's pretty old. It definitely shows its age a bit. Oh yeah, Fallout 1 and 2 are good. But that's gameplay, Chole. They just work. Yeah, they do just work. You know what just works in Daggerfall? You contract a disease that the game never tells you that you contracted, and you end up saving over all of your previous saves, even if you have like 3 or 4. That disease is just gonna sit there brewing in your character for hours and hours, silently, never telling you that it's there. And then when you least expect it, while you're in the middle of a dungeon, your character is just gonna die. Just gonna fall over and die. Just like that. Gone. Disease killed him. And you know what you do then? You accept that there's nothing you can do to reset your character. Even if you load your oldest save, you don't have time to get back to town before the disease kills you. And so you start over from the beginning. The Daggerfall experience, ladies and gentlemen. I'm such a Daggerfall hater, and I'm so... I don't know why I feel so passionately about this game, but I really genuinely... That game makes me upset. Or you cheat. That too. But do you want to cheat? Is there no cure? There is, but travel time in Daggerfall, this was pre, like, the Elder Scrolls becoming a more casual fantasy sim. Back in the first couple games, they were like fantasy sim. Here's the thing, okay? Daggerfall's map, someone help me out. How many countries does Daggerfall's map make up? It's like, what, 11 or 12 countries in Daggerfall? And every one of those countries is larger in scale than the United Kingdom. Like, the actual real-life United Kingdom. They are larger than that. So... the game has, like, a thing, right?
We've succeeded in shooting down
where you can fast travel around, but
This should prevent
it
the
still
enemy
takes
from
into
being
account
able
how
to
long that
grab
journey takes for your character.
Future missions are
So if you want to
less
travel like
dangerous
across the
thanks to your
country
efforts.
to get back to
Let's hope
town,
this victory helps make our future
it's
battles
going to
a little
take your
easier.
character like weeks to actually make that trip, even if you use the fast travel. And you know what happens in the course of those multiple weeks of in-game time? The disease kills you. You can't get back to town because you're dead. No matter how hard you try, even the fast travel can't save you. You're fucked. So always have a cure. That's the thing. Is you just have to learn the game's bullshit to even have a hope of surviving. And that's where I'm saying, like, you have to just play the game for like 20 hours or so to actually learn how to not lose a character permanently and to actually be able to play it after that point. And I'm sure it's great beyond that point, but I've played like 8 hours of Daggerfall and shit like that still happens, where like my character just perma-dies because of something like that and I have to restart. I really tried with Daggerfall multiple times too. Like I would try, get frustrated, take a long break without touching it, try to go back and be like, this is the time. And then I permanently lose my character and I have to start over again. Yeah, your character can die of old age. Just if you spend enough time like in the game, your character can die of old age. Yes. And Arena is better in that sense, but Arena is so dog shit to play. I have tried with Elder Scrolls Arena. Arena is the first Elder Scrolls game for people who don't know, like the older ones. Arena just plays like shit, looks like shit, sounds like shit. Arena's just kind of bad. Like it's not the same levels of bullshit as Daggerfall, but it's just not enjoyable. And that's another one where like I've tried a lot. This is a point-based one. How did I not get it last time? I guess we just run it again. It's fine. Not like we're already making great progress on the S ranks and everything, right? Because it's shit. Yeah, it's just... I've tried with Arena a lot as well. And it's... I just can't. I just can't. Because Arena is one of those games, and this kind of happens with some retro games, where the artwork, when you now like blow it up on a modern HD display, is so hard on the eyes. Arena is one of those games that like actually gives me a migraine playing it, because I get major eye strain from playing Arena, which doesn't help, obviously. And that's always kind of unfortunate when you run into an old game like that, where like you do want to play it and give it a chance, but like just the way the game looks on modern displays is like genuinely headache inducing. So you just can't even bear to play it for long periods. Someone in chat knows what I'm talking about. Someone in chat has gone to play like an old 90s game, like early 90s game, and had this experience, and they're like, yep, I know the one. But it's so weird, because like I feel like most games from the 90s, like artwork-wise and stuff, did age super well and still look good on like modern displays, but some just don't. I don't know what like the difference is. I'm not an art guy, but there's seriously like some of my favorite games, just personally, like personal favorites that I love to go back and play, are from the 90s. from like pixel art early 90s. Like, dude, Doom looks great. You play Doom on a modern display. I just accidentally fired a missile playing with one hand. My bad. One of my precious qualms too. That hurt a bit. OG Doom looks amazing on modern displays still. Like, that artwork just, it aged like wine. But then, like, the original System Shock, granted, I kind of know what it is with System Shock, but the original System Shock also gives me, like, migraines. That shit's awful to look at for more than 30 minutes at a time. I can play the original System Shock in very small doses, which is a shame because I love the original System Shock in its own weird little bullshit ass retro game way, because that is a bullshit ass game. But I can't play it for more than short periods. Maybe not old enough games. Yeah, System Shock, the thing with System Shock is the pixel art in that game is, what's it? Per sprite, it has fewer pixels. So, like, they're very big and blocky sprites. And System Shock's audio effects and music and everything are all at a super low bit rate. They're compressed to hell and back. So everything in the game is super hard on your ears as well. And then you get System Shock's color palette, which is all like the brightest, like fucking crayon vomit all over your screen. I can't describe it. If you go and look at screenshots of the OG, you might see some of it. But it's a recipe for a headache while playing for long periods of time. Definitely. It's just one of those games. Music and audio bother me. Yeah, that always is just the worst. Because that will just add to, like, the headache-inducing quality of some of those games, right? Like System Shock, if it was just the color palette, might be fine. Might be fine. But the audio on top of the visuals in the original System Shock just are like an assault on all of your senses when you play that game. And then the game is also kind of bullshit and just one of those retro games that you have to play for hours before you can eventually learn how it works and actually have a chance. So on top of that, like, you're fucking struggling for survival the entire time you're playing. At least the remake is really faithful. The remake is faithful in weird ways. Because it is faithful, but it's also not faithful. Like, it is weirdly faithful, but also an entirely different game that doesn't even feel like you're playing System Shock. It feels like you're playing maybe a System Shock, but it doesn't feel like you're playing System Shock 1. But maybe that's just because I've played System Shock 1 a lot. So I might be one of those purists who's like, oh no, no. It's not the same. So different. But it doesn't feel the same to me. It's so weird though, because like a lot of the level design is like straight carried over. A lot of the level design's also changed. But a lot of the level design in the System Shock remake is just one-to-one with the original. There's I think all of the weapons, no. I think most of the weapons in the remake are straight from the original. But then, like, the remake cut a lot of content that was in the original. And also altered a lot that was there and stuff like that. So it feels entirely different, but it also feels really similar, but also entirely different. Like, it doesn't feel like an RE2 by any means. But I feel like the System Shock remake is kind of like an RE1 remake. Where, like, a lot of the original is there. But it's also so different that it's not like the same experience, you know? That's the best way I can think to describe it. That's what I got. I played the OG Diablo. Almost died to reading chat again when it launched on PS1. How was the PS1 port of Diablo? I've only ever played the PC version. Felt okay to me until I played it on PC years later. Yeah. PC to console ports in the 90s were pretty rough for the most part. There were some exceptions, but that was just not an era where the consoles could do what the PCs could do, right?
This should prevent the enemy from gaining any new ground.
Consoles did some great shit. But PC did some great shit that was totally different great shit. And also, console ports to PC in that era were also terrible because there was just so little effort put into them. So they were always ports in general, from like any of the 90s, at least the big 90s games that I've fucked around with, like ports and stuff. I feel like generally when you're playing 90s stuff, just always go for the original. just don't bother with ports from that era because they're never good.
Allied ground forces are stranded at Stan Canyon. There are members of the Davis unit who are en route.
Hard to see what's happening if you play it today. What, on the PS1 version?
From the main force. The
DMC1 original PC port? Yeah. Any of the, like, DMC3's PC port as well was awful.
Has already begun mobilizing a search and destroy
what year did it launch? What, System Shock?
Only a matter of time before the Davis unit
1994.
I think we should launch a strike now and save as many.
Or Diablo? What was Diablo? 90...
Although the area of attack is within
7?
range of Gleipnir's
I actually don't know.
The very same
90. Oh my god. December 31st, 1996.
It should be possible to
God fucking damn it.
by the SWPN.
Are you shitting me? December 31st, 1996. Kiss my ass, Blizzard.
Or less than 2,400 feet.
Who the fuck launches a video game on New Year's Eve? What are you doing? December 31st. Never seen that shit before in my life. Oh, you meant DMC3. Awful. That port is bad. Yeah, console to PC ports didn't even really get good until like the mid-2010s, which is insane, but it's true. There was just like zero effort ever put into porting console games to PC. They would do it. It was just shit, like every single time. It was never good. We gotta run the classy Aurelia skin at least once, but it's officially time for some Raptor maxing. Finally time. And if you're Square Enix, nothing has changed to this day. True. There's no fucking effort going into those PC ports either. Planes are back, all is right in Chole land. Hey, PoE 2 was a blast yesterday. And somehow I didn't die playing a build that I hadn't like really tested and that I was... That build was like half planned. I planned the endgame version of the build and I did not plan for leveling at all. So I was totally improvising for the most part yesterday because I was like, okay, I know where I want to go long term, but I did not plan out my leveling process whatsoever. So we were just winging it the whole stream, and it somehow worked really well. By the end of the 3-hour session, that build was kind of crazy, like legitimately. We were doing some cool shit yesterday. Yep. And you can't just start counting at 5. Fucking cheating bitch. He's trying to kill me. Yep. Oh no. I'm coming in at such a weird angle. Oh no. See, thank you. 10-second warning is what I need. I can do 10-second warning. Not 5. I can't aim a machine gun in these conditions. Doom 3 was way easier than the originals. Oh yeah. But to be fair, it's because the originals were kinda bullshit sometimes. And we just had to learn how to deal with the bullshit. Especially Doom 2. I've ranted about Doom 2 level design plenty because what the fuck were they on? Fucking Sandy Peterson. Chole was so thrilled to play a game yesterday that wasn't MGS2. Hey, MGS2, we're getting places. Sandy Peterson. His levels. I will say it until the end of time. He pisses me off so much. Because he does all these like interviews, and he's even just on Twitter all the time being like, oh yeah, I was completely key to Doom's success. My levels made Doom. And his levels were the worst fucking levels. Like, every level that I hate in Doom is a goddamn Sandy Peterson level. Like, genuinely, all of the worst levels are his levels. Dude is so fucking smug and full of himself for no reason. Oh, that's why he started counting to from 5. It's because he gives a 20-second warning on the first one. Okay. Sort of fair. That's not 20 seconds. You're full of shit. Never mind. Not fair. That was not 20 seconds. Absolutely the fuck not. Oh no. I was trying to give ACX some credit, be like, oh, okay, it's a me problem. It's a skill issue. No. Cheating bitches. 20 seconds, my ass. I love that I'm so worked up over this and I didn't even die to it. It's not about the deaths, chat. It's about the principle of it. What's the S rank criteria? It's I can lose no more than one ally, right? I think that's right for this mission. I just lost one, which is why I'm asking. I didn't look ahead of time. But I think from memory, you can lose one, but no more than one. Or is it none? There is a mission like this that you can't lose any. I don't know if that's this one though. I hope it's not. Cause I just lost one. I shouldn't be asking, to be honest. The amount of backseating on this mission is fucking crazy every time. Either variant of it. This mission brings it out of people. It only mentioned no more than 25%. Oh. Oh, 25% is fine. That's not bad. Oh, Avo? Avo? Avo, I think. No, that doesn't sound right. It sounds right until it comes out of my mouth, and then I'm like, no. That sounds wrong as soon as I say it out loud. But hello.
We've succeeded in rescuing the Davis unit from the enemy onslaught.
S rank.
The
We're
men
fine.
express their gratitude for rescuing them, sir.
Have you heard about the Elon Musk PoE2 situation? No.
For the recapture of Santa Elvira.
This sounds right up my alley. Oh no. Wait. Wait. He streamed Path of Exile 2? Oh no. And apparently his builds are awful. Oh god. Oh god. He's such a fraud, bro. No. It's a repeat of the Elden Ring situation. He streamed the game and his builds were terrible apparently. I have to look at that later. I'm just seeing like multiple YouTube thumbnails of people losing their minds at his gear. And apparently... Oh my god. Okay, apparently he got... Or he had... a hand of wisdom and action, which is like... Arguably... It's at least a top 3 item in the game, and it's also really fucking hard to get. Like, incredibly rare. And he apparently dismissed it and was like, oh yeah, I don't use those because the level requirement on those is only 52. And the level requirement on these other gloves that I have are 62. But the other gloves that he has are awful. I'm looking at someone like writing about it.
They are members of the
He literally just is looking at the item levels and not actually looking at how they synergize with his build and what benefits they give him. He's purely just taking the pieces of gear that have the highest item level, and that's it. Sweet Jesus, I need to look at that later because I'm gonna lose my shit over it.
But it doesn't look like the troops can
I'm gonna lose my mind watching that later.
Trying to hold back enemy forces until the rescue unit arrives. I believe it's our duty to protect.
I'm so glad you brought this to my attention. I would not have found out about this otherwise. Because like just yesterday when I was playing PoE2, I was talking about how on one of my first hardcore characters, I got like an item that was totally normal, but it was just so perfectly lucky for my build. Like had 2 modifiers. It was an item that could, okay, for reference, for people who don't play the game, all the loot is random. And the loot, like your gear, is pretty much what makes or breaks your character. Like outside of your skills and your passive tree and everything, it really comes down to your gear at the end of the day, because the gear is where most of your actual like big buffs are coming from. And so basically when I was playing a character at level 2, like literally just starting, I got this item. It was a magic item, meaning when I like uncovered what the modifiers on it were, which is a gamble where it randomly generates 2 effects on top of it. Not even 2, sorry. A magic item has a maximum capacity of 2 modifiers. Generally, there are some cases where it can have more, but generally maximum of 2. And then those 2 modifiers can be fucking anything in the game, right? And I was playing a lightning damage build. And so when I like rolled that item, it did drop me 2 modifiers instead of the possible chance that it just dropped me 1. And the 2 modifiers, again, on my lightning damage build that I was trying to start were like plus 60% lightning damage and plus 2 to the skill level of all lightning skills. It was a god roll right at level 2. Like, not an insane item, but just perfect for my build and what I was actually doing. I used that item until I was like level 25 because it was that good. Thought you were doing cold. This was off stream. This isn't. I was just talking about this on stream yesterday because it's a good story to put into perspective, like how amazing gear can be and how much it can like transform your build if you get the right roll. Like if you just get lucky with the gamba, pretty much. Yeah, I used that fucking level 2 staff all the way into like level 20 some because it was just absolutely perfect for my build. Like I couldn't have asked for a better roll at level 2. And item levels in PoE don't fucking matter. They actually don't. So Elon just using like whatever the highest level item is shows that he just doesn't know how to build in PoE, which is funny. But then to like live stream it, and I'm assuming just knowing how he is that he's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing this. It's because blah blah. And he thinks he's right when he's very not right. I need to watch that. That sounds incredible. It does. It sounds like a repeat of the Elden Ring build, the infamous Elon Musk Elden Ring build. If you've seen it, you know. If you haven't seen it, well, you do have to probably have played Elden Ring to understand it. But if you've played Elden Ring and you haven't seen it, just Google it. It's a single image that he posted on Twitter to be like, here's my build. And it was fucking horrific. The Elden Ring build was so ass. It genuinely, and like, I'm not exaggerating when I say it, it probably is the single worst Soulsborne build I have ever seen in my life. Like, I don't think I've ever seen a build that makes less sense than the Elon Musk Elden Ring build. It was so insanely bad. One of the worst builds ever. Like, I can't even... I've looked at it on stream and broken down why it is so cursed. And it took me like 15 minutes to break it all down. Because just in one single screenshot showing his gear and his like stats and everything, it was like, it was incomprehensible how he could possibly think that that was a good setup. Because it, on so many levels, was the most horrifying thing I had ever seen in Elden Ring. And I fought Radon for like 4 hours straight when the DLC came out. But like, holy fuck. That is the most horrifying thing I've ever seen on Elden Ring. With fat rolls and everything, man. He's actually insane. I mean, if he managed to get through the game with that, imagine what he would be able to do if he had a solid build. Because holy shit. I would not be able to, beat Elden Ring with that build. I wouldn't. I would die every time. Time to beat the game with his build, JK, I'm not doing that. I wouldn't be capable of doing that. I mean, with anything in Elden Ring, realistically, I would be able to. if I sat down to do it and spent like tens of hours just working on it, but I really wouldn't have a good time doing it. It would be so difficult for me to try to beat the game with his build. It's impossible to beat. I could. It's not impossible. But man, it would be so fucking difficult. That probably would be like the hardest challenge run of a Souls game I've ever done. Trying to beat it with the Elon Musk build. Oh, he does use summons. Okay. Summons would make it a little easier. I still don't think I would be able to beat the game very easily with that. Like, even with Mimic Tier, guess what? My Mimic Tier fucking sucks. Because it's the Elon build. It would be so hard, dude. It would be so difficult. Maybe someday I'll try to do it, but I don't know. Maybe when me and False do Elden Ring co-op, I could run the Elon build. Maybe. Thoughts? I'm not doing that, by the way. I'm joking. Absolutely not. Mimic Tier switching between shields instead of attacking the boss. Bro, that is like, you joke. But genuinely, I feel like that's what would happen. Oh god, I'm throwing. Oh no. Oh, it's the A10s. Fuck, every time I forget there's A10s. And it kills me right at the end. Oh. Oh yeah, just tank 2 fucking... Oh, those were normal missiles. I thought I had my... Where's the other one? What? There's another A10. There. I fucking threw it. I can't believe this. He's not joking. I'm joking. I'm not doing the Elon build. Kiss my ass. You can't make me do the Elon build. I won't. I refuse. Please. That would be fucking funny, though. What's the most overrated game you've played? Undertale.
It appears that a rescue unit has
That was
successfully
fast.
extracted the stranded
But
data
probably
chip.
true, actually.
Although the unit has suffered terrible losses, thankfully, they've been saved from
Yeah.
complete annihilation.
Or... Yeah. Yeah, it probably is Undertale. Undertale is good. Yeah, but like,
At Stan Canyon.
all of gaming Twitter that year was fucking screeching that Undertale didn't like win Game of the Year. And it wasn't that good. It's fine. It's fine.
Casualties to the Davis unit will be displayed on your MPG. The Davis unit will be defeated when the gauge reaches max.
Don't think I call any game overrated. Oh! No! Chat, I have a real answer. Undertale was a real answer, but I have a better answer. And granted, I feel like the common sentiment has kind of swung around on this one to be not perfectly in line with how I feel, but more in line with how I feel. Tears of the Kingdom. It's Tears of the Kingdom.
Stand a chance against the enemy's anti-tank missiles. Enemy aircraft sighted. Likely the backup for the ground force.
And I think I'm gonna stick with that one.
Damn Southern Cross again. Roger, he's already too late. We've nearly finished mopping up here. They've come, help has come.
Because like Tears, I'm glad that the sentiment has kind of changed and that I'm not like the crazy angry boomer in the room anymore with Tears. Because like when I started seeing some of the biggest like Zelda YouTubers also being like, yeah, this was a letdown. I was like, oh my God, it's not just me. Holy shit. Because the thing with Tears is it's fucking incredible for like 20 hours. And then you're like, oh. It's so weird in that sense. I don't feel like I've ever had such a strong turnaround on a game. And like I played that game for the first time on stream the entire way through. Like my entire first playthrough was streamed. So like you see it live over the course of me playing through that game. Just me, like at the beginning, I'm like, this is fucking phenomenal. This is so insanely good. Like I can't believe that they pulled this off. And then by the end, I'm like, I don't know. You guys, I'm not sure how I even feel about this at this point. Like by the end, I genuinely couldn't tell if I liked it or not. I got so conflicted by the end of my playthrough on Tears. I genuinely could not describe how I felt by the end. I had no words. I've just never had such like a strong like turnaround like that from the beginning to like finishing the playthrough. I've never had another video game make me feel like Tears did in that sense. Fuck. I forgot about the choppers. I hope was lost after 10 minutes of the game. Yeah, also like the intro having the Majora's Mask kind of vibes and then that never coming back ever beyond like you say like the 15 minutes or so right at the start. And also that long term that has rubbed me the wrong way a lot because people for years were asking for that kind of like atmosphere to come back in a Zelda game. And then in all the trailers and stuff, they really were like driving home those very small segments where it did feel very like Majora's Mask. And it was legitimately like 15 minutes of a game that's like 50 hours. And then the other like 49 hours and 49 minutes-ish was like Breath of the Wild, but you can build things with your arm. And I still say it to this day. I don't know how Tears took 6 years to make. And I know that, like, stated on record, they say that, like, just getting Ultra Hand to be as good as it was took them that long, like, polishing it up to be that good and everything. But even then, 6 years? Like, Ultra Hand is great. But 6 years? Breath of the Wild, but you build things with your arm doesn't sound that bad. And it's really not that bad. But like, we waited 6 years for that shit and then paid $70 for it. And like, that kind of just was the game. Like, the dungeons were reskinned. Like, they didn't look like Divine Beasts anymore. But they were still just Divine Beasts. They were the exact same. They just looked kind of different. They at least had some better visual theming, but that was it. They played the same. What's it? The shrines were still bloated as shit. Like, all the issues from Breath of the Wild were still there. In terms of, like, core gameplay and stuff like that. The side quests still sucked. Did you find a single bug when you played? Maybe? I don't know. This was... Oh my god, Tears came out almost 2 years ago? Fuck. Oh my god. It's gonna be 2 years ago in May. Fucking shit. Time is moving faster, I swear. So it's not just me, right? Because, huh? I'm tired of playing Nuketown every game. Can't they just make new maps that are as good, if not better, than Nuketown? They do. I mean, Nuketown is still there because it's a staple, but how many original maps does Black Ops 6 have? It's like... I don't actually know the number of maps in the game. But it's like 16, 17, something like that, original maps. And then also like Nuketown and that one BO4 map that I can never remember. Hacienda. I was like, what's the BO4 map? I forget the name every time I want to talk about it. Hacienda. I enjoyed the shrines despite them being kind of stupid. It's not that the shrines themselves are like bad, but it's that the shrines are so like the shrines kind of are your primary. The shrines are really your primary form of progression through the game. I was about to say they're the only form of progression, but I guess armor is pretty big too, so that would be exaggerative, but. Because they took out like new gear and new abilities and everything like that. Yes, sorry, Hacienda. I do it every time. I don't know why I continue to think the H is silent. My Spanish is that bad at this point. Sorry. But because they took out like actual progression in Breath of the Wild and Tears and relegated it to just more hearts and stamina from shrines and then more defense and maybe some other perks from armor. What's it? You kind of like, if you want to get an actual feeling of progression, you have to go and do all the shrines. And if you want to go and do all the shrines, there's what, like 120 in Breath of the Wild, and I think like 100. There's more in Tears. It's not a lot more, but there are some more shrines in Tears, right? If I'm remembering correctly. H is always... Oh, no. Okay. It is silent then. Yeah. I, for some reason, got mixed up with, what's it? When I was saying Don Quixote on stream... The last time I got corrected on Spanish was that. So I accidentally merged them in my brain.
Enemy reinforcements have arrived.
Oh, sorry. Earlier I was seeing, what's it? A couple people asked about Fortnite for most overrated games, and I got distracted. I don't think Fortnite is overrated. I think Fortnite is fantastic. It deserves the success that it has. It's just not my game. I don't like Battle Royale. Like, the only Battle Royale that I've ever really liked was Apex. And if we're being honest, that's because it's just Titanfall 2 Battle Royale. No Fortnite collab? No. No, don't ask me to play Fortnite. Actually, oh wait, no, I fixed my thing with Fortnite. Never mind. I was gonna say I couldn't if I wanted to, because Fortnite always crashes on my new PC. Like, whenever my friends have convinced me to play a little bit with them, I would never actually be able to, but I did end up fixing it finally. I figured it out. Fucking shit. Titanfall 2 was better than Apex, and I'll never forgive them for neglecting Titanfall 3. Okay, chat, kinda hot take, okay? Kinda spicy, but hear me out. I think Apex was just a really awesome refinement of Titanfall 2. I think it plays better. Genuinely. I think, like, retaining a lot of that core movement stuff, but grounding the game more, and then putting that movement system into a game mode where positioning is so crucial, was amazing. I love Titanfall 2, though. I do. Don't get me wrong. Fucking love Titanfall 2. But, here's the thing. I've said this about Titanfall a lot over the years. If I wanted to play COD multiplayer, I'm just gonna go play COD multiplayer. Like, Titanfall is great. The multiplayer in Titanfall is great. It's not that it's bad, but like, if that's what I'm looking for, I'm just gonna go play COD. If I'm being totally honest. But I prefer a more grounded game like that. Definitely. Because, like, my least favorite COD multiplayers are, like, Infinite Warfare and Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare. Those genuinely, like, out of every COD game, which I've played every COD game multiplayer a lot, because I've played the games, like, my whole life. Those three are genuinely, like, my least favorite multiplayers in the series. Just, I don't like boosting around and stuff. Halo should have wall running. Wall running is a maybe, but even then, it's got to be done right, and it has to be. You gotta have some restraint with something like that. You can't have people just wall running all over the damn place, like, constantly. Like, work it into some maps in a clever way, and, like, yeah, I'm down with that. But don't have it be fucking left, right, and center like it was in Black Ops 3. But wear mech? This is crazy for someone who, has played so much Armored Core. But it's not about the mechs for me in Titanfall. For the hero shooter aspects, that's fair. Because, like, in Apex, actually, chat, who wants to guess my, I played a lot of Apex, like hundreds of hours. I used to grind ranked. I was a consistent diamond player. Who wants to guess my main? on Apex. Oh, hold on. Wraith or whatever she's called? Hell no. No, I got bitches, so I did not play Wraith on Apex Legends. Bloodhound is right. I played Bloodhound. So, like, the most grounded, like, out of the entire cast, not even grounded just in terms of movement, although, yes, compared to how things got later on. But even just in terms of abilities, like, my abilities were literally just, I had 2 abilities that both were knowledge-based, and that was it. It was just, if you use this ability in the right time and place, you will get extra knowledge of where your enemies are. That was it. Because I didn't really like the hero shooter stuff much either. I really generally don't. I think hero shooters, especially now, although Marvel Rivals is kind of proving me wrong. Not in the sense that I'm like necessarily in love with the game or anything, but just the success of Marvel Rivals is proving me wrong on this. I feel like hero shooters are a very tired trend at this point. Like, every big FPS game for the last like 9 years has been a hero shooter. And I'm kind of sick of it. Like, I'm kind of over it at this point. God damn it, 25%? What happened?
Casualties to the Davis unit will be displayed on your MPG. The Davis unit will be defeated when engaged.
Rivals is fine. Rivals is fun enough. I've played a bit of it. I'm a bit of a Jeff player myself. But yeah, even like Marvel Rivals, everyone is fucking hooked on Marvel Rivals. And I'm kind of like, yeah, if friends like, you know, if they just want to get me on Marvel for a little bit as like a social game, I can play it. I have not played it on my own, like just as taking a break from work and gaming a little bit or anything. A single time. I have never felt compelled to just open up Marvel Rivals and play it for the sake of playing it. It's a social game for me. Like, if someone wants me to play Marvel Rivals just to hang out, then sure. Other than that, I'm not into it enough to play it, like, on my own. But it's fine. Who did you play on Valorant? I didn't even play Valorant enough to have a main. I probably played like 10 hours of Valorant in my lifetime. My thing with Valorant was like, if I wanted to play Counter-Strike, I was just gonna play Counter-Strike, because Valorant is just Counter-Strike but not as good. There has to be someone you played the most, though. I don't think there was. Like, genuinely. I remember there was the one guy who could drop smokes from the sky. Like, he had a little wrist thing. I played him a bit. I played the guy with the bow a little bit. I played Sage a little bit. Sage is, like, the only character whose name I actually know. Actually, that's not true. I know the name of KO. I played KO a little bit. I did bounce around because I just didn't play the game enough to like find a main and stick to them. I just kind of played whoever. I really legitimately barely played Valorant. I never had much fun with Valorant. Because, like, all the way back in the Valorant beta, playing that with friends when it first dropped, like, the game wasn't even out yet. And I remember all of us being like, this is fine. And we were all, like, you know, we played Counter-Strike on and off over the years. And we were all like, is it better than Counter-Strike, though? And unanimously, we were like, no. Mostly because of the gunplay. Valorant's gunplay is fucking terrible. Like, genuinely, I feel like all the Counter-Strike players get so hung up on, like, the abilities and everything. I'm not. Valorant's gunplay feels bad. Like, shooting guns in Valorant does not feel good. Yeah, False was a big Valorant player. Who told you not to play CSGO and why? Probably because it's toxic, which is very true. Even to this day, Counter-Strike, in my opinion, as someone with a good few hundred hours or so in it, Counter-Strike does not get a bad enough rap for how toxic it is. Because holy fuck. The Counter-Strike players need to get their shit together. Jesus Christ. Like, it's not League, but I think Counter-Strike is definitely more toxic than Valorant. Definitely more toxic than Overwatch. Definitely more toxic than COD. Fucking Blacklight Revolution had better gunplay than Val. That is such an obscure reference. I hate that I played that game and I know exactly what you're talking about. I would get so bored of any hero shooter after like 3 matches. Yeah, even Marvel Rivals, like I played it with Owen the first time. He finally bullied me into it after the game had been out for like 3 weeks or so. And I played Jeff the whole time and I had a blast for like 4 matches and I was like, okay, I'm good now. And since then, I've legit only touched the game whenever someone is like, can we play Marvel? And I'm like, yeah, we can play Marvel. That's fine. It's good enough for me to play it. Like, socially. If asked. But that's about it for me. Which is good, to be fair, because there are games like Overwatch, I just won't install it at this point. Counter-Strike, I just won't install it at this point. I would install Apex if asked, I bet. But I'm trying to think. Fortnite, it's gonna take a lot of convincing. It's not a hard no, but it's like an 80% no. You're gonna have to push for it, right? You're gonna have to work to get me on Fortnite, but you could get me on Fortnite. Maybe. Your odds aren't great, but there's a chance. It's not like I refuse. Gotta keep an eye out for those A10s. They're coming. Then drink and play? I don't drink. I think I get it. Either of these. Oh. Oh, he was talking to you? Okay. Oh, there's the A10. First one. Get out of here. We don't want you here. Stay away. Where's the other A10? There. That was a hit. That's crazy. Hold on. I have to check just to be sure there's not a third one. That, whatever that is, looks sketchy. Oh, it's just a tornado. Okay. Ay, ay, ay. That mission's a bitch sometimes. Favorite Ace Combat game? For me, it's 4. Definitely 4. 7 is a close second for me, though. But 4.
The unit has suffered terrible losses. Thankfully, they've been saved from complete annihilation.
What if instead of fighting other planes, you were fighting zombies while on a plane? I feel like I have to do this again someday, the zombies on a plane bit. Because it's so... people just don't know zombies on a plane anymore.
Island is home to both vital Aurelian oil fields.
Oh, I still have my tab up for the Elon Musk Path of Exile situation. That's good. I can't close that. I do need to remember that that's a thing for later.
It's highly likely that he has obtained invaluable information on the Gleipnir, and more importantly, he is a fellow Aurelian who must be rescued. The Allied submarine Naiad will be used in his rescue. In order to draw the enemy's attention,
surprised
it
didn't make finals in the bracket.
Will engage
4?
in a diversionary operation. Our duty will be to protect
4 got knocked out round 1.
The enemy is expected to launch
Losers bracket,
aircraft.
4 did make it all the way up to the finals,
is to protect the
pretty
diversionary
much.
fleet. We must also ensure
What the fuck is the
safety
Elon
of
Musk
Naiad.
PoE situation? I haven't had the time to go and look at all of it, but apparently he streamed himself playing PoE 2 and showed off his builds, and his builds are fucking horrific. Like, they're really fucking bad. It's like a repeat of the Elden Ring Elon situation, basically. Where he, like, showed off his Elden Ring build, and he thought that it was good, and it was legitimately, like, the most awful build you'll ever see. Like, I guarantee you, with minimal guidance from me when playing in co-op, False will make a build that puts Elon Musk's build to shame. Like, not even a competition. Do you think he's just trolling? He might. No. Definitely not. Because apparently he's, like, well into the game. He, from what little I saw, he was saying that, that one of his pieces of gear was better just because it's level 62, like item level 62 instead of 52. And the item level is just the minimum player level you have to be to use it. So he's at least, I would bet, like level 65-ish, if not higher. Which means he's been playing that character for like tens of hours. Like, he's very deep into that build. And he's just... No, that doesn't happen out of trolling. It's apparently a hardcore character too. from what I saw, which is people are saying that he probably got boosted to the level he's at by like playing in co-op with other people. Because apparently it is a hardcore character from what I saw. That's supposed to be important. Who the fuck cares what Elon's build is like? No, it's not that it's important. It's just when you like start putting your shit out there and like saying that you understand something and then you just so clearly don't, it makes you look like an idiot. That's all it is. It was the same thing with his Elden Ring build way back. Like, people are just going to make fun of you because you look silly. It's not an important situation, it's just a funny situation. Oh god. So Elon in a nutshell? Well, no comment. F-22 is so nice. I played this game for so long using planes that are not good, and now this is nice.
We've reached the target. The infiltration unit is preparing to enter the facility. This is the infiltration unit. We'll bring you back something nice, so don't leave without us.
Where does he get all that time? Genuinely, being that level on PoE indicates a lot of free time. Like, even just the fact that he's there, like at that point in the game, indicates that he has played a shit ton. Because I'm not there. I'm like halfway to the point in the game that he is, and I've played about 30 hours in the last month. So he's probably played like 60 hours or so. And even then, who the fuck knows? Because if it is a hardcore character, there's no way that it's his first character. If he has a hardcore still alive at like level 60 some, there's no way that that's his first character. Even like people who play, what's it? People who play Path of Exile for a living, like the original game with thousands on thousands of hours, were dying at like level 12 when PoE 2 came out. Because just when you don't know the game, you don't know the game. So I would say he's played at least 60 hours of 2, if not more. Like 60 is being generous. Generous on the low end, that is. I phrased that weirdly, but. This song is great every time. Best part of this mission, even better than This Is the Naiad.
The Naiad is stuck on a collision course.
Oh, that's horseshit. Actually, I should get a machine gun kill in here. I haven't gotten one in a couple missions. It's possible.
Help me! He's right behind me! I can't get him off me!
Oh my god.
I'm breaking up!
Shit. Come on, man. Ah! That's two. Two machine gun kills. You'll be fine. Oh my god, it's still alive. There. Okay. How much score do I need for this mission? Shit. I don't know. I didn't look. I should have looked. How did only one of those hit? Oh wow, that was a terrible angle. I thought I had a way better angle going into that than I did. Yeah, I know, I know. Oh, I was just about to say, did they shoot down the other bomber? It's 9K. Okay. Thank you. Stealth planes are so annoying in this game. Like, way more than your average Ace Combat here. Because of the weird, like, losing lock-on thing that ACX does with stealth planes. Ooh. How long do you think we have left in this game? Honestly, on the single player front, not that long. But the multiplayer seems like it's gonna take some time, but the multiplayer should just be fun. We're just gonna open lobby the multiplayer. And like, people who join don't need to boost me or anything. Just, like, genuinely, all I need is to have lobbies going. I don't care about, like, winning every single match or anything like that so that I can boost to get done immediately. People can sweat as much as they want. Try to win all they want. They won't. They won't be able to win. Feels so nice to fly a good plane. We spent so long flying the shit planes in this game because there were so many planes that were bad in ACX. Like, so many. But now we're finally to shit like the F-22 and it's just great. I'm just happy to be here. The fuck was that sound? Does the rest of the mission actually have to, like, play out without the Naiad dying? Do I just forget that that's how this goes from this point on? Am I gonna be sitting here flying for another 3 minutes and 47 seconds? I mean, I can. I'd rather not have to, but I could, I guess. Yes? Man, what the fuck? It's supposed to be if you didn't destroy the iceberg. It just plays anyway. I mean, you should play The Last of Us just so we can see your reaction to the second game. Man, I don't even like the first game enough, to be honest. Like, maybe someday, if enough people vote for it, but I'm really not that big on The Last of Us. I don't know. Or Uncharted, to be fair. They're kind of boring.
Safe and sound. Thanks to the recon data from the Naiad,
Uncharted is better. I like Uncharted more than the first Last of Us, at least.
It'll take some time to fully analyze the data,
but
it looks like there might be a way to partially shut down
it's not
the
my
stealth
thing.
system. This information may help us gain the upper hand in our battle against the Gleipnir.
Uncharted 4 is pretty good. 4 is the only one I didn't finish. And then there's the, like, expansion for 4 as well that I just never played beyond that, I guess, but Uncharted 4 is the only one I never finished. I did start it on the PC port, but the PC port was literally unplayable for some people on launch day, including me. I am some people. So I played the first few hours of it and then never went back because shit was fucked.
The mission will be to recapture Santa Elva, a vital transportation route. If we succeed in retaking the city, our capital Griswold will be within reach. Analysis of the SWBM attack at Cape Aubrey has shown that the shockwave
Infamous?
of the
I
missile
would
dissipates
love
before
Infamous
reaching
ports.
ground level. Therefore, an assault by our ground forces has a much higher probability of succeeding. The mission can commence at any time.
By far the best? Is it really? Hold on.
The time has
I'm actually
come to
curious.
drive it out.
What do people consider to be, like, the best Uncharted game? I'm looking right now. Hold on. Seems like most people are putting 4 as, like, their second favorite and Uncharted 2 as their favorite, but a lot of that is probably, like, the legacy of Uncharted 2, but that seems pretty universal. Like, everyone on these threads is saying Uncharted 4 is second place, Uncharted 2 is the best one. Hold on. I got distracted. 2 has the legacy. Yeah, 2 was just, like, big. What did Uncharted do differently from other games to become so popular? It was just like, well, at the time that the first game came out, because nowadays, if you play Uncharted, it kind of is like the most bare bones, like basic third-person shooter that you will play. But at the time that like the first and the second games came out, there weren't any other like big, accessible third-person shooter, like crazy roller coaster experiences like that. And yeah, they looked really pretty too, which helped.
The SWBM can't reach us here, but watch out for conventional ordnance. Fuck! The hits on the bottom is starting low. What's he doing? The vehicles below the Gleipnir were just vaporized.
Sorry, which variant of the mission is this? Is this A? Oh shit, I forget. I should have paid more attention. I think this is just score-based, though. I think we're fine.
Handle it on their own? I don't think so. I can't believe they've made such a terrifying weapon. Sir, Griffith 1, it appears the enemy has some kind of new super weapon.
Oh, this is B, okay.
If the Allied ground forces are defeated, we won't be able to maintain our military presence. Casualties to the Allied ground forces will be displayed on your MPG. Protect them and keep the gauge from reaching max. Our ground forces are strong enough to handle it on their own? I don't think so. All ground forces have withdrawn from Titanfall. Understood.
I wish this thing had better air-to-air weapons. I don't know why the F-22 has like one shitty air-to-air special and then 2 air-to-ground specials.
Sign that it's about to fire. Missile defeated. Alright, one down. It disappeared. I lost sight of it again.
Oh god. Drake was an instant icon as well.
Help me! He's right
Yeah.
behind me!
I feel like, hear me out, chat. Is this a questionable take? I feel like Nathan Drake is not even one of Naughty Dog's like largest gaming icons.
Griffith 1.
Is that crazy to say?
Oh, he's been shot down.
Because like even just specifically Naughty Dog has like Joel and Ellie. Duh. Crash Bandicoot. Like Nathan Drake is up there, but I feel like he's not even in their top 3.
This is reconnaissance. Something's wrong.
Is that crazy that to say that he's not even in their top 3?
Forces are strong enough to handle it on their own? I don't
Who's
think
bigger?
so.
Crash Bandicoot only? Crashes.
Terrifying weapon.
Out of all of their gaming icons, Crash is probably still their most iconic.
Enemy has some kind of new super weapon. If the Allied ground
Crash like was the PlayStation 1 mascot for a while.
military presence, casualties to the Allied ground forces will be displayed on your MPG. Protect them and keep the gauge from reaching max.
Top 5, yeah.
Our ground forces are strong enough to handle it on their own? I don't think so.
Should be number 3. I don't think he's more iconic than Joel or Ellie. Like in the current gaming sphere, to be fair. If Uncharted was still getting games, he very well might be. But so much for that. Not only did Naughty Dog like fully shift to a decade of The Last of Us, they then have now been like, oh yeah, we're not doing The Last of Us next because we're doing this entirely new thing. New IP instead. And everyone's like, what? But Uncharted. They're like, what? What's that? Never heard of it. Sorry. A new space game.
What about it went down? Damn it, missile.
Uncharted 2 movie is in production? How? I didn't think the first one did very well. Didn't people not really love it? I guess maybe it made a lot of money. I don't really know how much money it made, but like how? I just don't think she's iconic enough. I think Ellie is more iconic than Joel. Like, I think when people think of The Last of Us, they think of Ellie. I feel like he's not competing with Ellie for the number 3 spot. He's competing with Joel, if anything. And even then, I think Joel, in the current gaming sphere, blows him out of the water. Noir, thank you for the sub. Appreciate it. Was mid as fuck, but probably successful? Who saw it? I feel like I don't know anyone who saw it. My wife and all her girlfriends loved the Uncharted movie. What? This is crazy. I didn't think it did that well. I feel like it came out and I heard like nothing about it.
Radar is unable to track the glacier while it is using optical camouflage. Missile lock-ons are unstable. You'll have to use your aim to take it down.
Oh shit. Wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Tomb Raider. Oh, chat. Okay, speaking of spicy takes, brace, okay? I might need to even preface this, but hear me out. Hear me out. I am like the PS1 guy. Fucking love the PS1. Favorite console ever, all that, right? The old Tomb Raider games are kind of shit. Like the OGs. Am I wrong for this? Because I'm being totally real. I'm being 100%. They're just, yeah. The reboots are cool. But the triangle booba, but dude, they don't even play well. Which again, like a lot of PS1 games don't, because they just aged poorly, but like a lot of PS1 games aged gracefully as well. Tomb Raider did not. Like in terms of how it plays, Tomb Raider might have had some of the worst aging from the PS1, at least from like the big iconic lineup. It aged really poorly. Like it aged like already aged milk. Because even like for the time it came out, it controlled poorly and it played kind of not great. But a lot of people liked like the theme and the character and everything. So like it still got really big. But even if you go back to reviews from the time, you'll find a lot of outlets being like, yeah, this game is cool, but it controls like ass. And they were saying that back when it came out. Like now with you know, all these years of game development. Shit, that's SWBM. Holy fuck, I realized too late. I forgot that I got into the second phase already. Wowza. That's what happens when you yap this hard. Okay, less spicy take, but I feel like a take that everyone, not everyone, but I feel like a lot of people are on board with this take, but we just don't talk about it enough, okay? Moving away from Sony and over to the other end of the sphere. Halo Infinite's art style is fucking fantastic. Like playing it last night on False's stream, I was just sitting there half of the fucking time thinking to myself, like, man, I forgot how good Infinite looks because, the art style in Infinite goes so crazy, dude. And I knew it, but I haven't replayed that campaign since it came out. But playing it last night, I was just sitting there like, wow. Oh, it's the A route? Is it the A? Is this A or B? I forget. Is that why you got sad when I turned it to low? No, you just don't need to turn it to low, and on low, it's gonna look bad. Like bad.
Our ground forces are strong enough to handle it on their own? I don't
Art style and gameplay are awesome. Yeah. Like, just every time that we got to a cutscene and Master Chief was on the screen, I was like, dude, just can I pay you another $60 for this campaign? Because god damn, I'll do it. I'll pay it again if I have to.
will be displayed on your MPG. Protect them and keep the gauge from reaching max.
One without, oh no, he did have camo. We just disabled it. So it is B route, I think. Don't remember. I'm starting to lose it in all the S rank grinding. I can't keep track anymore. Oh. I have to rewatch the cutscene at the end. What cutscene? The one from the end of last stream? Do you want to watch it again, like at the start of stream? Because it got cut out of your VOD as well. That's probably a good idea, right? False? Or C? Who the fuck knows at this point? I clicked on it and I did not pay attention. I just went for the next S rank we needed, and here we are. Yeah, okay. I'll just pull up that cutscene on YouTube then and send it to you. Feels like they're not focusing on the important things. Like what? In regards to the Halo Studios like shift. What do you mean? Dropped the ball on live service hard. I still like the thing with Halo Infinite that's so crazy to me is, and to be fair, I was one of Infinite's harshest critics for a very long time. So in saying this, keep that in mind. Like, if you weren't around at these times, I was very hard on Halo Infinite for a long time. But people in False's chat last night were still in there saying, like, this game's multiplayer is so shit. And I'm like, have you played this game once, like, since it came out? Because nowadays, Halo Infinite's multiplayer actually, like, genuinely is in a phenomenal state. In terms of like content and just gameplay and everything. But at launch, yeah, it was a shit show. But I feel like no one ever paid attention to Infinite after its launch. Because everyone thinks that it's still in that state. Seemingly. And when I say everyone, I just mean like majority of people. Obviously some people know that it's not currently in that state. Yeah, the first impressions on Infinite's multiplayer were so bad that, like, not only do people still think the multiplayer is bad to this day because they just don't know, but, like, the multiplayer reputation also, like, bled over and tainted the campaign's reputation as well, to where people don't even talk about Infinite's single player when they talk about Infinite. Like, people only talk about how bad the multiplayer was when Infinite comes up. Whereas, like, Halo 5, when discussion about Halo 5 gets started, basically everyone, and not everyone, but most people, I feel like, when you talk about Halo 5, will say, God, that campaign was so fucking bad, but at least the multiplayer was really fun. Like, people with Infinite don't say stuff like that. You never hear people with Infinite say, like, oh, the multiplayer was awful, but at least the campaign was a good time. Like, people don't even mention the campaign. I feel like the multiplayer's reputation was just so destructive that you don't even hear people talk about the campaign. Oh, I was too high? I thought I was fine there. Shit. I mean, I thought I was, like, on the line, but I thought I was okay. Shit. False, look away. False, don't look.
This is
There.
reconnaissance. Something's wrong.
Sorry, False is playing it for the first time currently.
Our ground forces are storming up.
But yes, exactly what you just said. Hard agree.
I don't think so. I can't believe they've made
False, don't click on that.
weapon. Sir,
False, look away. Don't look. Don't look. Spoilers everywhere.
ground forces are defeated.
Don't look.
We won't be able to maintain our military presence.
Don't look.
Use of the Allied ground
Shit.
forces
Holy fuck. We're dodging bullets. We're like Neo in the Matrix. God damn.
all ground forces have withdrawn from
Jesus Christ. I'm blind.
Gain altitude as soon as you see any sign that it's about to fire.
Ugh. Ugh. And also, okay, I have to say this too. People in False's chat were like, when we started the game, like literally like 5 minutes in, started nitpicking Infinite for things that like the original trilogy did. Like the one that bothered me was everyone was like, why are the grunts talking? And I was like, they've always talked. And then the follow-up was like, oh yeah, they've always talked, but never like full sentences. They've always spoken in full sentences. Like legitimate since the very first game. They talk constantly. They've always done that. Like, I'm not even, they've always, like, a few games in the middle of the series, they didn't. Like, Reach 4 and 5, they dialed it back in all of those. But, like, the original trilogy, they always did that. That's just how they were. Because the whole point of them doing that again in Infinite was that it was like a callback to the originals, like most things in Infinite. False says they talked more too. False and I played the original trilogy 2 fucking years ago, and she hasn't played them since. Not to discredit False, but like, that's not a reliable source. By definition, thank you. Like, they've always spoken like that. If I download and boot up like Halo 2 right now, they'll be doing that. The service aspect of the multiplayer? Yeah, I'm talking like where I got to with it, if you weren't here for the whole thing, was I feel like Halo Infinite's reputation on the multiplayer front has just like bled over, and people now talk about like the entirety of Halo Infinite like it's dog shit. And there's like no nuance with Halo Infinite anymore. Like at launch at least, I feel like we all kind of were like, yeah, multiplayer needs work, like a lot of work. But like, the campaign is good. Granted, we weren't saying the campaign was like 10 out of 10, best thing ever. But we were like, yeah, the campaign is pretty good.
Ground force casualties exceeding 50%. Crisis 1, help them out.
Campaign has issues that we were talking about, certainly, but like, generally the sentiment around the campaign, at least back then, was positive. But I feel like in the long term, like, that's kind of gone out the window, and now it's just totally negative discourse around the entire game. And I kind of knew that, but then I didn't realize how bad it was until streaming it with False last night and just seeing her chat go crazy. Like, literally from the instant we started the game, every little bit was getting nitpicked, and I was like, holy fuck. Jesus. Like, Chief would drop a one-liner, and someone in chat would be like, oh, what a stupid, like, trailer bait line. Have you heard the Master Chief before? Like, I was just sitting there, like, in disbelief. the story within that campaign is mid, but better than the other 343 games. I think Infinite is by far 343's best work. Especially now that the, that the multiplayer is like fixed up and everything. I think just like on the whole, Infinite is their best work. But it took time to get there with the multiplayer side especially.
4, 3, 2, 1, impact!
I feel like Halo discourse has just gotten so bad. Like, it feels like if I say anything bad about a Bungie game, everyone loses their minds. And then it just anytime anything 343 is like on screen or I bring it up, everyone starts shitting on it. I feel like Halo discourse has gotten so fucking shit. It's just, there's no nuance in it. Took them shifting the MCC director over. Yeah, that was when all the leadership changes happened after launch, which I'm waiting until after we finish the campaign to like get into all of the development lore. Was saying MCC. Okay, Azzy also. And granted, like, here's the thing. I didn't bring this up because I didn't realize until a minute later. But like, when Azzy was saying that the original PC port of Halo was the good one, and that it's terrible that you can't buy it anymore because MCC overwrote it and MCC is the bad port, it took me a minute to remember this. And again, I just didn't bring it up because at that point I was giving up. I was just done with it. But the MCC Halo Combat Evolved was the PC port, and that was the issue because the original PC port was the bad port. And they had to fix up the MCC version because it was the PC port. The PC port was always the bad port. Now the only version that's commercially available is the fixed version.
The airborne fortress is changing course. It's descending towards the city.
Chat was giving Cole hell, I now realize. Bro, I gave up. How often do I give up on arguing games with chat? Think about it. I decided it wasn't worth it. When has that ever happened over here? I mean, granted, I say that. It's happened a couple times over here, but like, it's not common.
The Gleipnir has changed course and is moving away from the capital.
I think the 343 games generally are worse, to come back to that. But like, I don't think that they're awful. I feel like the worst of the 343 games is Halo 5. And Halo 5 is like, I don't know, a 6 out of 10, probably. But then I would say Halo 4 is like a 7 out of 10. And Halo Infinite is like 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. Now. Took time, but yeah. Like, I feel like the 343 games aren't even like awful. They're worse. But like, they're not that bad. Like, am I crazy? I can't be crazy.
We've succeeded in destroying the Gleipnir, as well as taking back Santa Elva. The Santa Elva victory is fantastic news. But even more so, the defeat of the Gleipnir is sure to boost morale.
That really
and give
ruins
us
the
a
game.
strategic
No, it's just
advantage in this war.
like, it really,
Luck was certainly on our
it was
side,
wild that
but all
like
that
the
rain and
instant
debris,
the game
it's
started,
amazing
everyone was
to
just
see
like,
so
whoa,
little damage.
but and I was like, what the fuck? Because like, I've played some pretty disliked games on my stream before, and I've never seen something like that. Like last night was the most overwhelmingly negative and nitpicky from like the instant the game starts that I have ever seen the chat of a live stream I've been in be. I was actually floored. They're all okay, and to be honest, I see no true issues with any of them besides the poor delivery of the story most of the time. That's kind of just Halo. The Bungie games had kind of bad stories too. Reach. What? What?
We have obtained information that enemy stragglers from Santa Elva are
You guys hear that?
gathering on the Kalana
Must have been the
steppes.
wind.
Unless we move now, we risk the enemy launching another incursion on Santa
That
Elva.
was weird.
It appears that they are also expecting reinforcements and supplies from the Satana airbase to the northeast. If the
Crazy?
remnant
I was
forces
crazy.
And the reinforcements are allowed to regroup.
Reach
they
had the
can pose
best
problem.
story. You're just
We
a
need to
hater.
attack
No.
now, while they are defenseless, and take them out of the battle for good.
Must have really been the wind. It was. I don't know. I thought I heard something for like a second, but like I don't know what it was. Oh, can I buy the next plane? Oh, I better be able to. It was the 144, right? Yes, I can afford it. Let's go. Reach is okay, but the deaths are done horribly. Reach's story, across the board, like characters are the most glaring issue with Reach. But Reach's story is genuinely not good. Like outside of concept and a couple amazing moments like Lone Wolf at the very end. Like the final mission is incredible. No one's ever gonna argue with you on that. Like I don't think anyone will. But like Reach's story sucks. I don't have this Ace skin, so hold on. Ace Combat X. Aces. There we go. I found it. It's on 14A. I don't have that S rank. Let's go. Indirectly destroy. Oh my fuck. Are you kidding me? Hold on. Indirectly destroy 3 container ships by destroying hangars when they are nearby.
We have learned that Laysap is using Cobalt Cave to secretly conduct tests on a new weapon. Intelligence states that the weapon is to be mounted to the special
What the
aircraft
fuck?
Fenrir.
I've never had a criteria like that in an Ace Combat before.
To Archelon Fortress.
What the fuck?
We don't exactly know much about this weapon, but we need to put an end to its development.
This
ASAP.
mission's Ace has an interesting spawn.
Simply destroying the
So I have to
transport
wait
frigate won't suffice.
for other
We must
ships to
also
go by the
destroy
hangars
all
and then blow up the
warehouses on
hangars, and the chain reaction
We've been warned
from the
that
hangar
warehouses are
needs to
loaded
blow
with
up 3
explosive
ships
chemicals.
for the Ace to spawn in.
Fly up and out as soon as you hit a warehouse, or you'll be caught in the ensuing explosion.
He's used to just Azzy challenging
During
him.
the mission, Allied amphibious units will be deployed.
Azzy was
to
kind of
island
leading the
to gather
charge, to be
intel
honest. But
for the upcoming assault on Archelon Fortress.
that one, that's... Yeah. I'm not. I could. I'm not. The Halo show. Oh, I will never forget the Halo show. I wish I could forget the Halo show. Y'all think we'll get Knack 3 for the PS6? Hopefully.
Clark to Griffith Squadron. Stop the enemy freighters before they escape over the eastern border. Don't get caught up in the
I think the characters are great, but it's probably because I grew up with them.
We don't know how large they'll be yet.
Reach's characters are just really... I don't even know. Flat, I feel like is the best word for them.
Griffith 1.
That probably is the best descriptor I've got for them.
Difficult to hit from long range. Strike the warehouses from close range to ensure their destruction. However, there's also an increased danger of being
Oh, this is gonna be such a weird mission.
so make sure you get out of there as soon as you fire a missile.
The fanfic, yes.
Timing is very important. Fly with the grace of an angel and strike with the heart of a demon.
Oh, I can strike with the heart of a demon.
Heading amphibious unit. We're heading for the complex. Trader convoy here. We're being attacked by enemy fighters. Trying to send assistance. We got to give the fighters time to escape.
I almost just swerved right into the water.
Finish loading the gun.
Shit, 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 shit.
For departure. Air Force, we're counting on you to keep Nemesis off our back.
Never cared much for the story in Halo. I genuinely, and I mean this, as the lifelong Halo fanboy I am, I wholeheartedly mean this. I think the only Halo games with genuinely good stories are 2, 3, and 4. I'm including 4. I thought about it, I hesitated, I'm including it. Infinite, I honestly don't remember enough. Well, I remember some things, certainly. Infinite, I'll have to reevaluate. There might be 4 games on that list, but I don't remember Infinite well enough, and it's been 2 years. Not ODST? Not really. ODST, legitimately, you're just kind of going around, like, just doing random missions in the city without really knowing why, other than just Covenant is invading. And then there's like a last minute twist that all of it was like a secret setup to get that one engineer out. And then it's over. Like that's the story of ODST, like front to back. And I wish I was joking, but it is. It's kind of just random missions into ass-pull plot twists, and then it's done. And I love ODST. ODST is another one like Reach where I'm like, man, the atmosphere carries this game's campaign so hard. Because if it didn't have that atmosphere, I probably wouldn't like it that much. Well, actually, the gameplay in ODST is really nice. But that game and Reach are both so heavily carried by, what's it? By the atmosphere. Till the wet fart of the ending. The ending is, well, I don't know. I honestly think, hear me out. Hear me out. Genuinely. I think Halo 4's story is perfectly fine outside of not explaining the composer in game and Cortana's death. But even then, when I played that game when it came out, Cortana's death hit me and like everyone else that I knew who played it then really hard. Like it came out of nowhere and just boom, happened. So even then, that one, depending on who you are, might be a good thing. The biggest issue with Halo 4's ending is that the final boss is a fucking QuickTime event. That is like my single biggest problem with Halo 4's story, is making the Didact fight a QuickTime event. And then, I feel like a lot of people probably don't even know this, but did you know that the Didact doesn't even die in Halo 4's campaign? He lives. He lives. And then guess what? He lives through Halo 4's ending. And in a comic book that came out between Halo 4 and 5, Chief kills him on a separate mission like a year later. Still before Halo 5 happens, he dies. It just doesn't happen in a game. This is another moment where I'm like, I wish I was joking, but I'm not. Bro. Like, I sincerely wish that that was a joke, but it's completely serious.
Strike the warehouses from close range
Guilty Spark is alive? Wait, what? I've never heard this. What you talking about, Willis? What you talking about? Guilty Spark is alive? This is what I get for not reading the books, I guess. Holy shit. Huh? Was that planned ahead, or they pulled him out from the death or the comic book? It was planned ahead because they wanted him to be the villain in the next game as well. But then while writing Halo 5, they decided to shift away from that, so they did a comic book to kill him off. But it was planned ahead that he would survive that. That's why he still has a monologue at the end of the game. That's why, like, the final monologue of Halo 4 is the Didact speaking still. It was meant to tease that he wasn't dead yet, and that he was coming back. But yeah. Must have been part of one of the books. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with the 343 era of Halo. And it's not even that there's like a shit ton of critical lore relegated to the books, because Bungie always did that too. But Bungie never made that lore like integral to the games. There was so much crazy Halo lore that would make the games better if you knew it, like the original trilogy. It would make those games more enjoyable if you knew the lore. But if you didn't know the lore, the games were still perfectly fine story-wise. 343, mostly with Halo 5, has relegated so much critical lore to the books that it's fucking baffling. Holy fuck. I missed. Don't screw it up this time. I hit the ground. I screwed it up. Shit. This is such a strange criteria for the ace to spawn, man. Like, I have to rush that shit because I need to blow up the ship with the hangar. Like, they need to line up. Not telling me how girl lost her arm? Yeah. To be real, Halo's story has always been a shit show in the grand scheme of things. Halo has always been, like, I feel like just always, Halo has been a series of, like, incredible ideas. Constantly great ideas with flawed executions, like the entire way. Like Halo Reach, that game's entire story, all that game's characters are all great ideas, but like all of them are just executed poorly. Like Halo Reach somehow doesn't actually give you much info or like much context about the conflict on Reach. You're kind of just there. And you're kind of just going from one mission to another as you're told, for the most part. Like the last couple missions are the only ones that really have like a narrative through line and aren't just random. And then the character, don't even get me started on Noble Team. Because, yeah. Like, I feel like every character in Noble Team could have been perfectly fine. But just, all of them have, like, a singular personality trait. And that's it. And there's really nothing to them beyond that trait. Same thing with like ODST, right? Where it's like idea, fantastic. Like ODST's fighting in the new Mombasa invasion, great. But then there's no real like through line until the last couple missions where you suddenly realize that it's about the engineer. Well, I guess the through line is just piecing together where your team was during the day as the rookie. But even then, once you piece it together, why did Rookie need to learn all of that? I mean, he eventually finds them regardless, and he doesn't even find them through like the clues he gathered. He just finds them through Dare. Because Dare found them for him at the very end. Halo stories have kind of always been a mess, with like 2 and 3 being the exceptions. And even then, 2's cliffhanger, I forget. I need to restart. I've missed 2 of the ships. Halo 2's cliffhanger. That game had its whole 3rd act cut out. Like Halo 3 is basically just Halo 2's 3rd act, which is like Scott Pilgrim trivia. That Halo 2 was never supposed to end on an insane cliffhanger like that. It's just they had to cut like an entire 1/3 of the campaign out before release because they just didn't have the time or money to do it. Like even Halo 2 internally at the time was a fucking disaster. They just managed to salvage it well enough that it comes out feeling pretty all right. Has always been generic? Not really. Because Halo's story... like, I don't even know how to word this. I don't think so. Like, I think that Halo has always had an incredibly unique feel to it compared to other things. Am I the only one? Am I crazy, chat? Like, I don't even know how to really describe why I don't think so. It's just, I don't feel like anything else really feels like Halo, or vice versa, like Halo really feels like anything else. You know what I mean? Like, when I think generic, it's like, oh yeah, like Call of Duty feels like Medal of Honor, which feels like Titanfall. Like, the chain just goes. But Halo, I can't really do that. Like, Halo is Halo, you know? Oh god. Oh my god. I tried to readjust just a tiny bit and I fucking... This mission's criteria, like this ace spawn thing, this is gonna drive me crazy. I say these audio logs, but it's optional. Yeah. Yeah. ODST's story is really weird. When you, like, it's one of those games where if you just get caught up in the atmosphere and you just go with it, it's great. But then when you think about it after the fact, you're like, what happened? And why? It's like, well, actually not a whole lot happened, did it? Same with Reach. Like, what happened and why, when you start to think back on it, outside of just like, Reach had such a good idea too, because like the whole thing about Reach, like it was alluded to in the first few games multiple times. They literally wrote a whole book about the fall of Reach called The Fall of Reach. Like, it was a story that Halo fans, even if they didn't know it through extended media and stuff at the time, they knew of it and they knew how it ended, right? Because you know already that the original Halo opens right off the heels of the destruction of Reach. It's just a thing that's right there from the beginning of the first game. And they went back to explore it, but they didn't really explore like the events of it or anything. They kind of just explored like the vibes of it. And the vibes of it are immaculate. But I want to know more about like what actually happened, you know? Like, I want to see more of that when I think back on Reach. I got the vibes of Reach, but I didn't get like the story of Reach, you know? That's what like long term has always rubbed me the wrong way about Reach, story-wise. There's more. What really rubs me the wrong way about Reach is its fucking gameplay, but that's a whole other thing. Yeah, the Cortana delivery at the end is great. But like that's the one thing with Reach that I'm like, yeah, story-wise, the fact that Noble 6 and the others who were alive at that point in the story, which was what? It was June, Emil, Carter, and 6 at that point. It was down to 4 of them. And June is the only survivor. So the other 3 members of Noble Team that died on Reach died so that Cortana could get to Chief, which then, like, that ultimately just results in winning the whole Human Covenant war, ultimately, right? Like, that part of Reach's story is great. Everything else about Reach's story, there's not a whole lot to it. You know? There's not a whole lot there outside of that bit. Like, up until that point, and that's like, what, mission 8 of 11 or something? Where Cortana does come into the story. Up until that point, it's just, it really is like little missions that Noble Team gets sent on for like little victories. And then immediately after that, it's like, oh fuck, didn't mean anything. Which is fine, because that's intentional. That's the whole point, is that no matter what they did, they were gonna lose. But it's not like narratively fulfilling, I guess? Not even because you lose, don't get it twisted, but just because it feels like one random mission after another, right? It feels like it's missing like an actual through line outside of just random operations, is the thing. For me, at least. Up until Cortana comes in. The Cortana inclusion saves Reach, because otherwise the whole game would have been one random operation after another. Talking about Halo fills me with warm nostalgia, then I think about the TV show. Don't think about the TV show, don't do it. Don't do it. The less you think about it, the better. Do a Halo review series? We almost did. It was like number 3 on the last poll. I thought I was going to do Halo, but then at the last minute, RE started getting a shit ton of votes from the Metal Gear audience and flew up to the very top. It was going to be Yakuza and Halo. I was planning on it until like 2 weeks beforehand. Like literally until around the time that I put out the Metal Gear Survive video, that was the plan. It was going to be Halo and not Resi. It was very close. There was like a wild swing in votes right at the end. The animated one? Yeah, Halo Legends is great. The Halo anime that they did is fucking awesome. The story's not great, but like it looks amazing and the vibes are immaculate. And if you can't tell, I feel like I've noticed that the most important thing with Halo from this discussion might just be the vibes. Not Legends? Then what do you... Wait, there's another one that's not Legends? Again and again? I mean, I said it last night when I was talking about, like, when people were saying that the grunts didn't talk that much in, like, Halo 1 and 2. The amount of times that I've played those games, like, believe me, they definitely talk that much.
Pilot, check your plane and prepare
Halo CE, I think I've played at least twice a year for basically my entire life. Like minimum twice a year.
You're coming in too fast. Slow down. 1 mile to refueling craft.
Just defending Reach. Yeah, I wish there was like a more... I wish there was more to it. Because even like having the ops be kind of random, but then realizing how they're connected can work. Actually, great example. I'm glad that I got onto this side. Because you know what game is all random operations, but they're actually like very directly connected and have a narrative through line? Halo CE. Halo CE. Skip the introduction. The introduction is just there for an introduction, right? Like on the Pillar of Autumn. But then you crash onto the ring. And the first thing you do is you go around rescuing all the survivors from the Pillar of Autumn crash, right? From the evacuation of it. And while you're doing that, you hear that Captain Keyes got captured by the Covenant, which is real bad. You can't have your captain getting captured. So you go to save him, and then when you save him, in the middle of that mission, he's like, oh yeah, while I was being held prisoner, I heard that there's a control room for this fucking ring that we're on. And so you're like, oh, okay, well, we got to figure out what that's about. So you go to the control room. And, or sorry, not the control room. You go to the map, like, island, the cartographer. And you go there to find out where the control room is. And you do. And then you go to the control room. And then when you get to the control room, Cortana goes into the system and she's like, wait. The chief went after a weapons cache. It's not a fucking weapons cache. Go stop him right now. And then you go to stop him. And it's actually the Flood. And then the Flood gets unleashed. Like, it's all random missions, but there's like an actual through line to all of it, right? It's not actually random. Whereas Reach is like, opening mission, establishes everything, and then you go defend a base. And you defend the base, and it's like, okay, base safe for now. And then the next mission is like, oh, we heard that there are some orbital guns. We need to go take those out. And you're like, okay, good. You go do that. And then after that, I have to think. Hold on. After that is a second mission. Oh, no, sorry. After that is the Spire. You took out the orbital guns so that you could go after the Spire. And then you blow up the Spire. And then after that, it's like, okay, now there's a big ship. We got to go blow up the big ship. So you go blow up the big ship. And George dies. And then after that, you just... Oh, man. Like, Reach is way more random. Like, you crash land, you fight through the city. And once you've done that, it's like, okay, we got, like, this flying thing here. We just need you to go fly around on patrol for the night, I guess. So you do that. And then after that, it's like, oh, actually, they're calling us back to that base from earlier. We got to go back there. See, now that I'm spelling it out, it does kind of piss me off. Anyway, it is about that time. And with all the Halo talk, speaking of, I will be on False's stream again tonight to play it again. We're doubling up. We're going to try to get through it. So in 3 hours from now, I will be on False's Twitch channel. We have this command for this reason. That's her link tree that the bot is going to pin right there. But you go from there to Twitch. I'll be on that Twitch for a Halo Infinite stream. Be there. It's a good time. Believe me. 3 hours from now. Little less. About 3 hours from now. Other than that, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy and you haven't done so already, feel free to go ahead and leave a sub, follow, whatever. Come back again. Tomorrow, we're doing Armored Core. But other than that, we're doing this. We're doing Metal Gear. We're doing Resident Evil. We're doing Yakuza. We're doing a whole bunch of good shit. So come back for any of it. It's all good shit. Also, if you enjoyed on the YouTube side of things, leave a like. Algorithm. The video does still... Or, sorry, the stream turns into a video after it ends. Goes out to recommended. So the boost helps. So thank you if you've done so already. Thank you if you're about to do so. If you're looking for links to anything outside of the YouTube or the Twitch to engage with the community, check out links in the description below on YouTube, on Twitch. They're on like the profile, chat commands, whatever. Things like Twitter, Discord server. If you're looking for it, it's there. Other than that, though, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll hope to see all of you guys back here next time. I hope you all have a good rest of your day. Thank you for coming to the stream, and goodbye.